Don't condone it. Ooh, Mr. Ye? I feel like Mr. Ye don't like me. Do you like me, Mr. Ye? Oh my gosh, I've never felt more like proud of myself in my life.
Victor? I like everybody. I
I
don't
thought
dislike
you said on
people.
the first day of school you hated everyone.
Yeah, you said I don't like you.
You said I hate people. I'm like, what?
Alright, so
Okay, I like that.
a lot of you guys are new from here, so I'm gonna go over just like pretend I never taught you before. So some of you guys are here for a long time, you might know you might not know what's going on. But I'm gonna try to go through as details as I can, go through each one and you'll see check mark. So one question, you see one check mark on the side. So each one check mark is what, 2.5 points? And you're gonna do a subtraction instead. So we're gonna talk about it, or you can add in 5 points. So at the end, it's pretty much everybody have 5 points here. But the first question says -3 squared. Am I recording?
Yeah.
Can you see the whole? Okay, -3 squared.
I'm
Okay,
famous.
so -3 squared. If you mess this one up, this is probably one of the easiest questions on the test. And hopefully you don't mess up. And most of the people that are right here, the paper I give it to you, mostly likely you mess up because I didn't want to grade after the first question. If you don't know how to answer the first question, I don't really want to have to grade it over on those things. So -3 squared, so since there's no parenthesis, so 3 squared is going to happen first. Does this make sense? So technically there's a parenthesis right here, but since there's no parenthesis, then that means exponent is going to go happen first. This negative sign is multiplied to this whole thing. So it's actually -3 times 3. That's equal to -9. So it's -9, not +9. Yes, some of you guys look at me, it's like, you guys probably never hear, so you guys, now you're going to know the right answer. Okay, so A, B,
Oh, we have to work it out. Sorry.
okay, so you have to do the correction for them because when you write down correction, you're more likely to memorize it.
If they get it right, don't you like it?
Huh? If they get it right, just put it 1 check mark. So in this case, it's going to give them 1 check mark.
Oh.
We'll just give him 2.5 points. Okay? Yes. Yes, if they got it wrong, do a correction. That's why you're helping them and helping yourself.
That's true. That's very effective.
Okay, so any question about the first one? Now it's time to ask me, Mr. E, I have to screw with this answer because that's the one that you are here to get better, not to come here just to hang out to get extra credit. No, here is now the time to ask me a question. How do I answer this question properly? Yes. You need a paper to grade or no?
No. Well, yeah.
Oh. Does somebody have 2 papers? You can come here, you can grade another one here. Okay, so you want to grade another one? It's over there. Okay, so -3 squared. Now there's a parenthesis. So now parenthesis is going to take preceding over exponents. Okay, parenthesis is going to be over exponent. So in this case, it's basically saying -3 times -3, that's equal to 9. Hopefully you're not going to make this mistake because this is going to keep on popping out again and again. So when I look at the first page, you'll see something like this, they don't know how to answer it, I automatically get it wrong. Okay, I don't even look at it because that is the first basic foundation stuff, PEMDAS back in Algebra 1. The third question, however, is a little bit more tougher for a lot of you guys. So the third question is as a 5 to the -2 power. So this is 1 check mark also. So you have 2 check marks. They will have 5 points if they know something. Okay, so -2 minus 8 to the -2 over 3rd. This is the negative exponent rule. So let me ask you, Thais, 5 to the -2, can I rewrite that to what form? Huh? Can I rewrite 5 to the -2 to what? One over what? No, not negative. If you change it to the other side, it becomes positive. Does this make sense?
Yes.
And then that's going to be 1 over 8 to the 2 over 3rd. That becomes positive. Yes, Tiffany?
Does anyone need a paper for it?
You have to go?
No, in case anybody moves it.
I don't think so. Maybe that person is walking in. Yeah, her. You can give it to her. Okay. So if they did this part, it's good. Okay, so now if I have to simplify 1 over 25 minus 1 over, well, if they got a to the 2/3, that means the third roots of a squared. Do I do square first or do I do the third roots first? Third root, what's third root of 8? 2. Does that make sense or no? That's equal to 4, so equal to 4 like this. If you got here, you're gonna get 1 check mark.
Okay.
If they got here that they didn't simplify this anymore or they did it wrong after that, they will have 1 check mark. So this question's worth 2 check marks. It's right next to the side, it says 2 check mark. Yes?
The person I have, they got the right answer, but they don't have any work.
Then I cannot give him any credit. Unfortunately, if you don't have, you're going straight from here to negative 21 over 100. The answer is negative 21 over 100.
Yes, I got these.
Okay, so then you gotta see like this. So you need to multiply this by 4 over 4, this by 25 over 25, and that should be 4 over 100 because you have common denominator in this case. So that's equal to negative 21 over 100. So this is the final answer. Do they got straight from here to here?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's no credit, no work. You have to show them the work to get credit. There is no way, I'm not that smart to do this from here to here. If you show like to this step, I understand, and then finish out with this step, I understand, but you cannot go from here to here. You can grab a seat, Gabriela, grab a seat, there's a seat in the front, it's open. Huh?
My person, they only simplified the 1 over 5 to 7 part, they didn't do the 1.
Yeah, in order to get full credit, you need to really have 1 over 4. Yeah, and make sure you do a correction. So this one is worth 2 check mark. 1, 2. So this you ought to have 10 points already in this question, because it's worth 4 check mark. Aaron, and there's more seat here. There's one more open seat. You can sit up here if you cannot see. Question about this part. Am I going too fast? Okay, a little? Oh, yes. Yeah. It's not? Remember, you guys are new here. Make sure you put a grade by on the bottom. Grade by who? The first put period. So period and the last 4 digits of your code. And if you have last name or your initial, so your last name is A, it's 4 digits. Am I going too fast?
No.
Ask me a question if you don't understand something. There's a reason why you're here is to learn. It's not to just get extra credit. No. If I give you extra credit, you gotta ask me a question. You're trying to get smarter. You're not trying to get dumber. No. You're here is just to use the opportunity to learn. Can I go on a second question? Okay. The second question says x equal to negative 2, y is equal to negative 3, and then I say evaluate negative 2x squared minus 3y all over negative 3x to the third minus y squared. So this type of question, I will make sure I copy down the question right. Because it could be very tedious work, so I copy down the right question. Rather than spend the whole time, like 5 minutes, I'd rather make sure I spend 30 seconds I copy it right. So I'm gonna go back and make sure I copy it right. This is how you do math, make sure you copy things right. And how many of you guys make mistake because you copy wrong? Very often. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about how do I get the first check mark. First check mark is easy. You just have to make sure that you put a parenthesis every time. Negative 2 squared minus 3 times negative 3 all over negative 3 times negative 2 to the third power minus y squared, so it's like this. If they get this, you give them 1 check. Because they know how to substitute with the parenthesis. Every time you substitute something, you need to make sure you parenthesis around it. Okay. If AJ don't understand the question, as we'll say. Okay? So try to answer this question now. Try to go it from here to here. Go to the next line, see if you can do it. Try to do it, see if you can do it. Yes. Then that's wrong. Let's see, that's what I'm telling you. Copy down the question wrong, then that's actually more detrimental to your things. Because on SAT, if you copy down wrong, then you actually take out. So you rather spend 20 seconds to make sure you go back, copy your question right. So you say you copied down the wrong question, not because you're not capable. Okay, you gotta make sure you copy down this. Question about this part. Now, I will ask you to do it first. See what kind of answer would you get. Especially, let me show you how to do this part. Look, order operation, -2 times -2 squared, right? You don't want to multiply those two together. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
You want to do -2 squared first because that's the PEMDAS. Parenthesis exponent happened first. So some people get 16, and you wonder how they get 16. They get 16 here is because they didn't pay attention to PEMDAS. Write this on the side for them. You're gonna say -2 times -2, so which is 4, and that's equal to -8. So this part here is actually -8. Do you see what other people make mistake? With this part, a simple part like this. It's not because they don't know how to do math, it's because they don't know how to read the PEMDAS rule. Parenthesis exponent, so this happened first before you multiply by -2. You do not multiply by -2 first and then square it. That's what people make mistake, and that's what costs you a lot of points. -3 times -3 is equal to what? Positive 9, right? So can you do the bottom by yourself now? Try to do it by yourself. Try to do it by yourself before I go in to help you, because this is a time for you to learn. Jose, watch out for AJ. He write like a chicken scratch, and then you have no idea what he write down. And the way he hold a pencil is like 3rd grade.
It's so get on his neck.
He hold it like this. Now he write like this. Okay. You try it?
Yeah.
Yes.
My guy forgot like a negative sign, but he still got like the right answer.
What did I forget about negative sign?
But everyone's like, right, remember he forgot a negative sign here, but he still got the right answer.
Yeah, what happened is, this one you can give him credit, but because they happen to give you 7.
And again,
So it didn't,
So
so you kinda get lucky.
process.
He did.
Ew.
Hey, Nick.
I don't care about the extra finishes. I just. Is it okay if it's already?
Okay, so 8 plus 9, so if you try that yourself, what is the -2 to the 3rd power? -2 times -2 times -2, that means it's B. Again, what's -2 times -2 times -2? It's a positive or negative? Because you got negative times negative, that becomes positive times negative becomes negative, right? So that's equal to -3 times by negative is -8. And minus 9, because that's positive 9. So that's equal to -8 plus 9 over 24 minus 9.
Yeah. So he's gonna be sure.
And then that's gonna give you 1 over 15, and that's my final answers. Yes.
That's
You got the right answer?
Yeah, but
Well, depending on how many steps you skip.
-9. Alright, so you add them to.
This kid is lucky I got nice handwriting.
Yeah, you did.
That's positive check.
Not a bash, like.
17.
So,
Bash.
so this questions here, I will give him a check mark for here because this one they get a result. So this question is worth 2 check marks. So even if you did this part, I will give you 1 check mark. I'm not unfair grader. I might give you like the step by step. If you break down here and then you break down here, you're gonna get 2 check marks. So how many check marks I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. Before I go on to the next one. Yes.
So my person forgot to carry down the 2 of the original equation. Say fucking X. Should I cut
Why
that?
did he put 2? Oh wait, for quotes. Yeah, 'cause it's
Yeah. Because they used to.
Or she. Whatever you do. I know what you mean. I know what you meant though, because it's just second year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's negative.
Yeah, if they copy around, then that's wrong. Remember, copying is a big part. Question about this part. Okay. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 check mark right now. If they don't have it, just write down how many check mark they have. Okay, so now I'm gonna have a -7, 1/4 minus -2 or 3/5. Now again, in order to subtract a fraction, I need to make sure they are what? Oh no, wrong question. Sorry. No, that's okay. I got another one.
Nothing. So dang out of here. I don't know who you thought you were. Get that pen away from me. Honestly though, what the hell? Somebody rub on my veins.
Go back to correction.
I'm serious. They
Did
tried to-
anybody have 2 papers? Jasmine, you got 2 papers? You can give him one. Give her one. Question about this part. Okay, -4 2/3 minus -9 to the 3/4. So here is equal to -4 to the 2/3 plus 9 to the 3/4. Now, the first thing first, you need to change that mixed number to what? Improper fraction. So AJ, you're gonna do this one. So what is this one here?
14/3.
Not 14/3.
-14/3.
Good. Don't forget about negative sign because the negative sign is gonna cost you a lot of points. Okay. Plus this one's 4. 4 times 9 is 36. 36 plus 3 is 39, right? Now, if they did common denominator, I'm going to give them a point because I think that's a good thing. So if you recognize you have 2 different fractions, some of you guys got 7, I think like something ridiculous, 25/7. How many of you guys got 25/7 on the sensors? You got 25/7? Yeah, because what they did, they adding those, right? And that's scary because that's a 4th grade level math. But they are 25/7. Yes.
So if they were able to convert it, is that acceptable?
No, there's no points if you convert it, but there was a point if they recognize that I need a 4/4 and I need a 3/3 here. And even though they do rest of the math wrong, then I can give you 8 points here. I can give you the let's say it's 56, thank you. Plus 39 times 3, so it's 117, I believe. 12. So if they have this action going on and they convert to 12 and they got a wrong number here, I can accept the bottom being correct, the top being wrong. I can accept that because they know what they're doing. They just did it arithmetic wrong. That I understand. Nobody's saint. But if you do to this part, I can understand you trying to get there. Okay, I'll give you 1 check mark for here. And all you gotta do is simplify it correctly. It's gonna be 61/12. You don't need to change the mixed number. You don't need to change your 5 and 1/12. You don't need to do like this. This one's gonna give you 2 check mark. 1, 2. How many check mark? 2. Yes.
What if they did change their proper fraction to a mixed fraction?
That doesn't give you points.
Wait.
That's something that you know what to do first, right?
No, but for the answer. As the answer,
Oh, they change it to 5 and 1/12?
yes.
Then that's fine, that's good credit. Yeah, 1 check, not the second one because they don't have negative numbers.
Why so there's one check mark? He got to here, but he got to here.
Yeah, so that's gonna be, so this one's gonna be positive, right?
Yeah.
So what happened is that it's supposed to have a positive,
You
right?
came here to learn,
And then
and we
supposed to
There's
did.
only one check mark. The other check mark.
Yeah, but I'll have to. Do you understand what's going on now? Hopefully on the next test, if you show up again, you're not gonna get it wrong. Okay, so 5 to the 5 over 7 divided by 3 and 17 over 21. This one is gonna be 7. 7 times 5 is 35, so that's gonna be 40. Divided by 21, I think this is 80. Now, if you look at the here, they multiply the reciprocal. I can give him 1 point right here. If they multiply by reciprocal.
It's 80.
80. Okay, I can give him 1 check mark because they know when it's division, you have to change become multiply reciprocal, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how many of them do 40 times 21. Hopefully, some people here. Some people did 40 times 121. I think it's 840. Anybody get 840? Huh? 840. Don't give him wrong. Each try. But the proper way is not supposed to multiply. It's supposed to simplify before you multiply. Did we talk about this?
Yeah.
Which is 1, 3, 1, 2, 3 over 2.
My kid is smart.
You got lucky one.
Oh my god. Just
Yeah.
like smart.
Yes.
They
They did multiply reciprocal. I cannot give him credit. Yeah. Yes. Oh, because so good question. So it's a 40 over 7 times 21 over 80. So don't make me talk over you. So you have questions, just raise your hand. So you look at it if I can simplify. You can simplify top to bottom. Yes. So they both divide by 40. So if I divide by 40, that's going to give you 1. That's going to give you 2. 7, that's going to be 1 and 3. So it's going to be 1 times 3 is 3, 2. Does this make sense?
He did the 840 over 5.
Did you just say and I
And then it equaled 105 over 70.
1 over 5, 70 is correct. Give him half check mark.
Okay, that's actually annoying.
It's not simplified all the way. Yes.
No, no, no.
They didn't simplify as 840 over something. That's wrong.
It's okay. It's just freshman stereotypes are like when they vaccinate. It's okay. Like you're amazing.
Oh, that's fine.
That's like
That's a full credit. Yes. Let her go first.
You did not just call me a biscuit girl. I am ultra offended.
That's wrong.
Actually, I'm really not.
Yeah.
Biscuit girls have money, so let me be on biscuit girl. Honestly, I'm feeling more sophomore year.
Okay, so we finished this first page. The first page should have how many check marks? You should have 10 check marks. But you can write down how many check marks. So for example, they have a 7 check mark. You're gonna multiply by 2.5. You need to use calculator because somebody's grade. So you can get your phone out and multiply it by how many check marks they are, multiplied by whatever. It's 2.5 per check mark. 2.5 per check mark. So write down whatever point on the bottom, so later on you just have to add them up. Yes. Shh. Yes. Why you cannot check?
The 10. Did you just put 2.5 times 4?
What?
I'm gonna go shoot myself. Yeah, so you got 2.5. I think it's just 4. I think you just keep it in your bag. Please bring your notebook or binder to this class. We're going to 5 here.
2.5 per check mark.
Where do we put the like nothing below?
Put on the bottom, so 2.5 multiplied by how many check marks? So you're gonna write on the bottom, later you're gonna add each page to add up to B, okay?
Wait, no, this is wrong.
Question about it so far?
Wait. I'm sorry. My face is just really weird. Wait, dude. Wait, that's freaking weird.
Okay, so this one I'm gonna give you multiple credits. Here there's supposed to be 3 check mark, which is numerator and denominator. So what I'm gonna do is, just like adding and subtracting, what do I do here?
No, we get it.
Convert to what? So what is that going to be? 11, right? Are we okay here?
Did they get any
So this one's going to be negative 10 over 7, and then minus 21 over 4.
I barely know the kids.
Now, do they have a set denominator?
They're like,
No. I multiply this by 3 over 3. This is 7 over 7. This is 4 over 4. I do not... Guys, thank you, because I'm trying to go over, I'm trying to help you to make sure you understand what's going on here. So therefore, this one is equal to 3, and that's going to be 11 subtract 15. And on the bottom, it's going to be 28, and it's going to be negative 40 minus 147, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm going to get negative 4 over 3 over negative 187 over 28. If you got this, you can give it 2 check marks. One for the numerator, one for the denominator. Because now you get complex fraction. Remember we talked about 3 divided by 2? That's equal to 3 over 2, right? How about 3 over 2 divided by 4 over 5? That means 3 over 2 divided by 4 over 5.
sure.
Does this make sense? So can I rewrite in this way?
Yeah.
So I can rewrite as negative 4 over 3 divided by negative 187 over 28. Am I going too fast?
Yeah.
Okay, so this part, do you understand? You need a common denominator because 3 and 1 is not a common denominator. You know all that is 3 over 3?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna get 3, so 11 minus 15, so I'm going to write 11 minus 15. On the bottom, I need to get to 28 because 7 and 4 are these common denominators, so you need to multiply this by 4 over 4, 7 over 7. And then you're going to change it, you're going to go to here, you're going to say this divided by this, once I simplify. Now, is this divided by this, that's also can write in this way because this numerator divided by denominator. Numerator divided by denominator, 3 over 2. So in this case, it's 3 over 2 divided by 4 over 5, so 3 over 2 divided by 4 over 5. But we want to write it in this way because that's easier to do. So I have to rewrite that. 28 over negative 187. But it turns out right here, there's nothing to simplify, so you just have to multiply across. So that's going to give you negative 561 over what? Negative 112. And then you should simplify the 112 over 561. I don't know why people still mess this up because we ask this question all the time. Yes?
What if it only got to,
This part?
no, go more down, to negative 4 over 3? No,
You got negative 4 over 3?
no, like way down.
Here?
Yeah. What is it only got that one spot?
This part stop?
Yeah.
And add 28 over negative 187?
No, yeah, that's all it is.
Okay, so you got 2 check mark here because they got numerator correct, denominator correct. The answer is correct. So you didn't have the last one, so 2 check mark. Yes.
What if they did everything like right, but they put 107 instead of 187?
Oh, okay, they added. Okay, so that's
Right, but they put it, I don't know if there's a writing, but they just put it.
You got the right answer. Really? Yeah, but they like they left this as a comment. And they didn't do the whole version, like, they looked it up. But,
Alright, so.
Nicholas.
Just try it.
I'll just give him check marks.
I did that already.
I forgot.
What?
I'll check my phone, but I forgot.
Yeah.
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 A lot of money together, right? Negative 187 and 28, that's far as right. So one check mark here. This check, this minus.
Does he also have tutoring tomorrow?
Probably. I think he has tutoring like every day.
Yeah, the other day about like
Yeah. Probably have to like schedule with him too. Like tell him beforehand or after.
Oh, you oversight.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Lindsay has, he just has. It's like, you know, I don't know what it is, but.
You did, but that's fine. Yeah, three check.
They look.
They did like all the work, they didn't do the steps.
That's fine, that's fine. That's enough. Oh, it just does that interchangeable, because right now, this means this divided by this, right? So that means this divided by this. I just write as an example, that's how I change this to this format. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Can I get the whiteboard so I can go over?
This guy doesn't get credit, right? Only for these two.
Oh.
But he got the wrong answer.
Yeah, you didn't get a credit for the last one, yes.
Yeah.
So it should be 187, so he should not get the credit for this.
Shaded?
Yeah, so you can give him 2 check marks still, because it's just, this is supposed to be 187, right on 187.
Okay.
Okay, any question about so far?
Unless
Okay, don't erase it. Okay, I'm gonna write down the next one. 2x squared y to the negative 4 over 4x to the negative 2 y to the 7 to the negative 2 power. Now, if you pay attention, right? If you pay attention, here, the order operation happened where first? Multiply first? Exponent and parenthesis first, right? So complement write down a 1 here, that's gonna help you, but this is called power rule. So it's a to the n power. So that's gonna be 2x squared y to the negative 4. This one is equal to times. So negative 2 is gonna be 4 to the negative 2. Does that make sense? X to the 4th and y to the negative 14. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Yes.
Oh, wait, no.
That's called power rule. This is what we learned. So you need to go back to watch a video. That's why I contact you guys over the weekend to go back to watch all the videos, because you're missing all those informations. This is our pre-algebra 1 questions. Yes. Are we okay here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna multiply those two together. So 2 times 4 to the negative 2. Now, can those two multiply together? No, they have different base. One is 2, one is 4 to the negative 2. So let's take that in 2 separate things. So 4 to the negative 2. I can multiply those two together, but we're gonna talk about this later. x2 times x4 is what? Adding. You're adding the exponents here. Y is gonna be negative 4 plus negative 14, right? So then that's gonna be 2 times 4 to the negative 2, x to the 6, y to the negative 18. Am I going too fast? Okay, those of you guys are negative exponent, that means they don't like where they are. So I'm gonna change that. So I'm gonna get 2 over 4 squared, y to the 18, and then x to the 6. So anytime a negative exponent, they're gonna switch side, becomes positive. And then now I can do is simplify this. So 4 squared is what? 16. So it's gonna be 2 over x to the 6 over 16 y to the 18. And that's equal to 1 over 8 y to the 18 and x to the 6. So how do I give you credit? I'll give you credit if you got this part correctly. That's one check mark. And 1/8, you get another check mark. So either one, you got 1/8, then it's a one check mark. If a y to the 6 over y to the 18, you get another check mark. So you get two check marks. Yes, Tiffany?
For the y, the one above it, what is it, -4 plus?
-14. Yeah, those two exponents add together. But if you're adding two negative signs together, it's going to be just negative more. Yes.
What if they don't put the 1 over the 8?
Then that's wrong. You had to be 1/8. Or this one, y to the 6, y to the 18. Otherwise, show them how to do it.
Mister,
Yes.
why
It's to the 18.
he put it in the first time, then the second time he didn't put it?
Which one you put?
He put 1x to the 6th power, y
Over
to
8.
the minus 18, then
Wait. It looks like 8y to the 8.
It's 1/8 y to the 6th power, x over 6th power, and y to the 8th power. So, sorry, this one's x. This one's x here.
I keep tripping you with that.
Okay, so if you got 1/8, you don't have to have a 1 because that's just empty spaces. So, now, do you have any question for me? How do you do those questions? Do you understand after I go over it? Yes.
So is it x6?
Yeah, x to the 6. Do you understand it? Or you don't?
You get to that one, yeah, that part.
Okay, so -4 is going to add it because they are multiplying, so the exponent's going to add. So -4 plus -14. Now, x, 2 plus 4, because they are adding. They have the same base. They both are x. Now, this one has two different base. I'm going to treat it completely different. So I'm going to do 2 to the 1 times 4 to the -2. Now, anything negative exponents, it's going to switch sides. So this one's going to become, this is over 1, right? This becomes go downstairs, right? Go down. And this one's go down, becomes positive. They switch side, becomes positive. That's a negative exponent. And then you get to here, and 4 squared is 16, so 2 over 16 is 1/8.
Wait. Sorry,
Yes.
I just need to see.
Okay, thank you.
Am I still recording?
Yeah, you still.
Oh, that means my voice is gonna be on the.
Oh, you look good. You want to say hi to the camera? You
Can
say
I?
you
Can
want-
I say that? Thanks.
Monsieur, can I get under the mark?
Question about this part. So how many check on this one? 2 checks. Yes. Okay, that's fine. You both have 2.
That's more smart. It's
Where?
yeah, I knew what you were doing.
You guys better watch it on the video.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. You're gonna get a credit now because you are.
He can still learn in peace. I'm not gonna judge him for his.
Everybody can have a credit.
Yeah, in front of your face though, rather than behind your back.
Okay.
Oh. That's good. As long as you
Okay, so next one. So 12x to the 3rd, guys. Y to the 6 minus 2x squared, y to the -3 minus 6x to the -2, y to the -2, all over 2x squared y to the 3rd. So make sure you copy down the question right before I go further. Any question about this part? What I'm doing, I'm splitting this 12x to the 3, y to the 6, 2x squared, y to the 3. Minus 2x squared, y to the -3 over 2x squared, y to the 3. Minus 6x to the -2, y to the -2 over 2x squared, y to the 3. If you have this written down, I'll give you 1 check mark because they know how to split something. It's easy as that. Or some people did this. They just simplify this way in their head. They got 6x y to the 3. If they got this part minus the 2 and 2 cancel out, x squared cancel out, minus 3, so it'll be y to the minus 6, minus 3 subtract 3, minus 3 x to the negative 4, y to the negative 5, right? If you got this, either way, I'm going to give him one check mark for either one of those. Some people go straight from here to here. I'm going to give him one check mark. Okay? So either one here is going to result one check mark. Yes?
He did it, but he mixed up the addition and subtraction. But he got that though.
He didn't get the middle part. It's not x to y, it's y to the 6.
Yeah, he didn't get that. So don't give him?
Okay. Either one, you can give him one check mark. Either one. So you either got this or this. So even you don't know how to do it, just take that first step.
What if you got in the middle 2x squared y minus 9?
No, then that's no. 0. No check. So they have to do everything correctly. If they jump a step, they have to do it correctly. Are we okay, AJ? Do you understand? Sure. Okay, so now the negative exponent rule. All you gotta do is this, and you want to get a right answer. And that's it. Then you're gonna get a second check mark. So this is only worth 2 check mark, but the check mark can be given from here or here. Doesn't matter. But if they simplify all the way down correctly, if they simplify to any other thing, does not give them credit. Make sure they have this part written down. And if they oversimplify, don't count them wrong. Just kind of cross them out. Is this a hard questions? Yes.
They put one. They did it. All the other ones are.
Yeah, I'll give him half check mark here. Because that was very close. But that's a very detailed. Those of you guys need to understand. Huh? They give one check mark for this and no check for this. The hardest question of the test. The hardest question of the test right here. Negative 2 over 3. Negative 2 over 3, and then that's it. And you say, oh, okay, why is this one hard? This is not hard. You just need to simplify whatever inside the parenthesis first. So inside the parenthesis, 54 over 2 is what?
20. No.
27. Good. X to the 1/3 subtract 1/2. If I write it down, it's going to help me later. Because top minus bottom stay at the top. Y to the negative 2/3 subtract 1/3 to the negative 2/3. Okay, so now I'm going to have 27. X to the 1/3 subtract 1/2. So that means I'm going to multiply this by 2 over 2. This by 3 over 3, right? So that's equal to negative 1 over 6, I believe. Y to the negative 1 to the negative 2/3. This is to the 1 power, so I'm going to distribute the power inside, so it'll be 27 to the negative 2/3. X to the 2 over 18, which is 1 over 9. Y to the 2 over 3. Which one's the negative exponent? 27, so it'll be 27 switch down 2 to the 3rd. Are we okay? Now that's going to be x to the 1 over 9, y to the 2 over 3rd. That's going to give you 9. Because 27 to the 3rd root squared, that's equal to 3 squared, that's equal to 9. So if they got this 9 correctly, you can give him 1 check mark. If they got a top part x to the 1 9, y to the 2/3, you got another check mark.
Mister, look, this guy didn't finish. He got some of the parts. He got that one. Yeah.
That I can give him one check mark
That's
that
it,
part.
though.
Yeah, one check mark, that's it. So this is worth 3 check mark. If you got here, I also gonna give you 1 check mark here, so. Okay, remember, if you get to this step, you get 1 check mark. If you get down to this step, just make sure 2 sides correct. You're gonna get 1 check mark each. If not, just fill in for them. And that way you know how to do it. That way they know how to do it. And show them the way to do it.
We don't know exactly.
I'm not erasing yet.
Okay.
So how many check mark? 1, 2, 3. So this page has 10 check mark. So again, you're gonna multiply by 2.5 using calculator if you need it. That's fine. I'd rather you don't screw up other people's grade. Using calculator is, in this situation is okay. Yes.
What if it's like, it's the right numbers, but it's not? It's like 9x
X
1
1 over 9, y 2 over 3.
Yeah, 9x 1 over 2, and then y 1 over 2. What?
You have to have a 9, correct? Do they have this part correctly?
Yes.
This part? Then you have 1 check mark. And then this part, I can give you 1 check mark. Let's say.
They didn't format it right.
Then do they get 9?
Yes.
Okay, they deserve a 2nd check mark, but not a 3rd check mark. Yes.
X over 1 over 8 or
1 over 9. Lollipop. Now, do you think it's still hard tests? I think something that's doable.
There's like some questions.
Oh, and
Alright, so 1.
Okay, so this one here. Yes, Aaron? Huh? What'd you say? What happened? Okay, so this one is going to be 3x plus 4 times 3x plus 4. And this one should have 9x squared plus what? Plus what? 12x plus 12x plus 16, right? 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. Next one, 3x plus 2 to the 3rd power.
Wait, Mister, they got 144x.
Then that's wrong. They do multiply it together. Okay, so this one's a 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2. You already know this one is, why did I do something wrong? That's fine. 9x squared
What if they don't show me?
plus 12x plus 4, and multiply together is 3x plus 2. And write it out, it's going to be 27x to the 3rd plus 54x to the square plus 36x plus 8. So this one's worth,
1 point.
yeah, this one's worth 1 check mark, but this one's worth 2 check mark. If you get down to here, you can give him 1 check mark for here, and then 1 check mark for here. Yes?
what if they got both of the answers but didn't show you?
I cannot give you any credit if they did go with it. So there's no check, I'll say no word to prove this. Because I can do it myself, I will ask you, Tiffany. Okay? Yes, we're going to multiply again, 3x plus 2. Yeah. It says 61, 66. Well, you can't see 61 or 64 all the way to 66. Okay, I'm not making a big deal again.
Or we're really gonna leave out of here.
Just give him check mark.
Or we're really gonna leave out of here like 4.
You're welcome.
3:30.
I just gonna sound like a different language. I'm so excited.
Yeah, one check mark and then do one more.
Been here for a while. Mister, look,
Can you help out with another one?
Are we leaving?
No, she's leaving because she has color card. Alright, is color card? Okay.
Bye.
Okay, question about this part.
yeah, Mister, look. This time he didn't get it.
This one's no one check mark. That's it.
But I can't do this.
Huh? No, that's wrong. Alright. Next question. 4x squared minus 81. What is the factor of this? Guys, we'll just go over today. What is the name of this factoring? Second period specialty.
Difference of a
What's
square.
that?
Difference of a square.
Difference of a square. So a squared minus b squared equal to a plus b times a minus b, right? So therefore it's 2x plus 3, 2x plus 9 over 2x minus 9. Check mark.
This guy could not do that. Are you serious?
X squared minus 2x minus 8, that's equal to x minus 4 times x plus 2. You don't have to show work. This one is straight.
X minus 4. He did it the other way around. That's right, right? Oh no, he got it wrong, Mister. Look.
Okay, just so you know, I cannot give full credit for the things, but yes? Yes.
My person put 2x squared minus 9.
2x squared minus 9, no.
Mister, look. This guy put x minus 2, x plus 4.
What?
X minus 2, x plus 4.
Then that's wrong. Okay, so this one's x minus 5 squared or x minus 5 times x minus 5, not x plus 5. So you have to get
X minus 5 and x minus 5. That's a minus, right?
yeah, minus and both minus.
Alright.
We are almost done. We only have 2 more pages. We are almost there. Okay, so if you got here, you're gonna parentheses the first 2 terms because there's a 4-term factoring. GCF, it should have 4x squared times 7x plus 4, I think. This one you're gonna factor out a negative 3, and that's gonna be 7x plus 4. If you get to here, you get 1 check mark. If you get simplified again, just factor out at 7x plus 4 times 4x squared minus 3, you get another check mark. Number 12. 5 times 10 to the negative 2 times 6 times 10 to the negative 8. Okay, if you got here, you just multiply those 2 together. 5 times 6, give me a second, 30. I'm going to go back to answer this question. Times 10 to the negative 10. This one doesn't give you credit because that's scientific notation. You need to move this value smaller. So it'll be 3.0 times 10 to the what? If this becomes smaller, what will happen here? It's bigger, so you're going to add 1 here. So negative 10 plus 1 is negative 9. So that is to get you 1 check mark. Yes, Thais, you have a question about this one?
Yeah, it doesn't show work, it just got the
Let me see the work, yeah. I cannot give him credit, sorry. So that's 0. You have to show him show work. So that's why you guys can show work for them.
So the final answer says 30 What? That's a 30.
Well, yeah, but you just
Go on, see.
Okay.
Can you do B right?
Okay.
How are you getting?
Give me a second. Let me finish this one so we can finish this one. 3 times 10 to the negative 5 over 5 times 10 to the negative 3. So 3 over 5, that's dividing, times 10 to the negative 5 subtract negative 3. So it's negative 5 subtract negative 3. That's equal to what? What's 3 over 5? 0.6 times 10 to the what? Negative 2, right? So you need to move this one to become bigger. This one becomes what? Smaller. So it'll be 6.0 times 10 to the negative 3. Okay. Can you totally wait 5 more minutes? She can say, because we have 5 more minutes from being done. Okay, so put down how many check multiplied by how many, but the check mark is gonna be here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's also 10 check mark here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, last one. We're gonna do this really quickly. So minus 27x squared y to the 6 plus 3x squared y to the 4. What's GCF here? GCF, it means they both have in common. So x squared, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
How about y to the which power? No, not second. 6 and 4 is what? 4. And then take out that negative 3, please. Negative 3 is this part and this part. See that?
Yes, sir.
And then once you factor out, you're gonna have 9y squared minus 1. You can get 1 check mark for GCF factoring. On your homework, there's a lot of GCF like this. Then you can factor this is a squared minus b squared. So that's gonna give you 3x squared y to the 4, 3y plus 1, and 3y minus 1. And that's gonna give you a second check mark here. Same thing as the next one, except it's a lot easier. So I'm gonna factor out at 5x, you're gonna get x squared minus 4. Then 5x times x plus 2 times x minus 2. This one is gonna give you 2 check mark. Got it? So 30x to the cube minus 22x squared minus 24x. What is GCF here? AJ, what's GCF here? Look at a number first. They all have in common, which is they all what?
You have 2 in common?
2 in common. 2x, good, perfect. What do you have left if you factor out 2x? AJ, it doesn't help you. Come on, think. Can somebody help it, AJ?
You can't be
Yes.
3x. You can't be 3x.
It's not 3x. 2x times 3x does not give me 30. 15 what? 15x squared. Good. And then?
11x.
And then?
Minus 12.
Good. So now there's a trinomial, right? It's a box. 15x squared minus 12 minus 11x, right? So I'm going to do 5x times 3x. And that's negative 4 times 3. So negative 20x. And that's 9x. So that makes perfect sense. So your answer should have been 5x plus 3 times 3x minus 4.
Because I didn't ask.
Oh, but he didn't do the 1. If he got a 1 here, then I can give him 1 credit.
One
They
way.
literally be telling
This
me.
should be 9y squared minus 1. He did 9y squared minus 0. Because that GCF factor out wrong.
I need.
Question about this part. 2 check mark. 1 check mark is GCF. 1 check mark. See how important that GCF is. If you factor out GCF, I give you 1 check mark. So it's really easy. Yes. Yes, Thais.
If they just put the answer for the, do I mark it right?
Let me see. Again, I think this guy is answered very well. I cannot give him points there, just say no work, no credit. And show them the work. This is the work I will show. Yes.
So right here. Sure.
Okay, the GCF factor out 2x, do you show that?
Honestly, tomorrow I'm gonna get really loud when I'm talking to breakfast. Everybody can.
All right, last questions. So last questions here. I'm gonna grade a pre-calculus one, which is third period, fourth period. I'm gonna grade that. So you just have to grade this one. 15. If you get lucky, the answer is C. I give him 1 check mark, regardless of the work.
I put B.
Now, if they have some type of work, I'm gonna show you quick way to work and a slow way to work. So this square minus 64, right? If I square this, it's gonna be x squared minus what? Ax plus 16 minus 64. So it'll be 8x squared minus 8x minus 48. And then you can change that to factors x minus 12 and then x plus 4. Now let me show you a genius way to do this question. The genius way is look at this. This is actually difference of a square. So what happened, you can do this. X minus 4, this is the A, plus B, and the A minus B. So that would give you x plus 4 over x minus 12. Done in one step. Which is, this is a cool way. Nobody did it this way, but this is the best way to do this question is look at it as a difference of a square, and you actually get a result much quicker. So if you get lucky, got C, put a check mark. Got the answer, put a check mark. The work is right there. Now what you're gonna do is multiply by 2.5 on all the check mark and add them together. Don't add it wrong because I'm gonna take points off on you. So make sure you add it correctly before you go. Huh? Then I can pay some of that. I can give him 1 check mark if you like. You're not gonna get E. It's x minus 12, x plus 4. It's C, the answer is C, yes. On the first page, the total point. Huh? I would say that. Just give me a total point right now. So it's supposed to be out of 100.
Or my number right next to the person that was last week.
Yeah, so your period and your name.
Wait, this one is what?
Yeah, the one
The
has
back
to
page,
check.
you got a 0.
Okay, that's it. The rest of them all graded.
27.5.
Out of 100.
How many check marks?
Yeah, how many check total and
How much to do it?
then multiply by.
Yeah, by the
Where we put percentage? Yeah, they put a percent. 20 check mark is 8 check mark?
Mr. This time got check mark.
Okay.
And both have 2.4, then that's 2.5 out of 100. Don't feel bad. That's why I don't grade them. Thank you. Remember, all you guys getting extra credit for this, so you're not just going through it. Depend on the class. I will go back. Second period. That's 32 checks or 32? 17 checks. Yeah, 13 checks. Right?
So you count the check marks?
Multiply by 2.5. Thank you.
So it's kind of.
Wait, you didn't put a total. Where? And you can ask me any question you want to stay over. 10 check mark or 10? 10 4 check mark, yes.
So Mr. Yeah, I just added the bottom number. And
Yeah. I don't know how many check and multiply by 2.5.
So they have 5 check marks.
So that's 12.5.
Thank you.
Do you understand them better?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you don't, you may go back.
I'm still gonna go back, yeah.
I will post this test, the empty test, online, so you can go back and see if you know what you're doing. That's how you're improving.
Yeah.
So, Monsieur, it should be out
I
of
feel
100.
bad just
Jose.
sitting around and stuff.
There should be a RPO form there.
Monsieur,
You're gonna have to fill out.
it should be out of 100. It should be out of that number.
No, just about 100.
But the last page, it has 27.5 for the points.
That's okay, just because I'm not grade the last two questions.
Oh,
Only third period and fourth period I grade the last two.
Okay, okay. So I don't.
There you go. Bye. Maybe right here. Hold on.
And then, plus. And then, wait, I'm not done somewhere.
So today is probably
What?
1.5 hours. So just write down 1.5 hours and outline that, and you have to get approval from the guidance counselor. Okay. It should be fine. Does that help you to go through all those questions?
Yes, it does. I mean, it went a little fast at the end, but, yeah. I'm not sure if that's the right answer for this one.
It's the third paragraph.
Mr. Ye, why do I write for name of organization?
Huh?
Why do I write for the name of organization?
Just say Mr. Ye's classroom. Who is the guidance counselor?
Vermeer.
Yeah, you are.
Why the hell,
Is it helping you?
where?
I'm gonna post a blank one, I want you to go back and do it, okay? On the top. I'm gonna give you credit for it.
Thank you. I've actually sold it. I got caught up with 16. See you, Monsieur.
Thank you, bye.
See you, Mr. Ye.
If you have any question, you can stay out, oh, you have to go, your parents gonna kill you. She gonna kill you?
Probably not, but she's probably gonna be angry.
Okay, that's okay. Tora is helping you, right? She's not. Does that help you? Are you sure? Do you know where you make mistakes? How about you? Is your sister helping you? Is she a good sister? She's a good sister. I don't think she can be any bad. I think she's the best sister you can have.
This person got everything wrong, so.
Okay, that's just 0. Next
He just-
Okay. That's why I have people grade them.
I understand
I
that.
get very depressed when I grade them. Very depressed.
I can see that. It was really sad.
Yeah. But again, you're getting better hopefully. But I'm gonna post the blank test online so you guys can go back and review everything. Make sure you get everything understand before you move to the next chapter, because you don't wanna fall behind on the first thing. So I'll post that. Okay?
Nice.
What's your name?
Oh, me? Elisha.
Alicia, you're in the dark here, right?
Yes.